remind you that your questions were due last night. I know there's a bunch sitting there waiting for me to grade that I haven't gotten to yet, so I'll try and work on those this period. If you have not gotten me your questions, please do so. That was worth 20 points. Otherwise, I did give you a participation grade that kind of went with the whole MOMIA unit. So you can see how you did on that. Most people were fine, but if you really just refuse to participate and or read or do something, then you might have a slightly low on that. But yeah, this will kind of wrap that up with this quiz that will start here shortly. And then we really just have the a speaking grade left and then your final exam. So what I would like to do is just chat with you for less than 5 minutes about where we're headed next week. I am screen sharing, bless you, some info here on the speaking that I would like to share with you. So if you're in here, you maybe have a hard copy. And if you are online, there is a hard copy attached to today's current lesson. But obviously I'm screen sharing it just so I can kind of point at things as I'm going here. So you can just kind of follow along. All right, let me try and I got a couple more people here. Trying to get on. All right, so if you're just joining us, you're just in time because I want to talk to you about this before I let you work on your quiz. So here's the deal. Typically, the speaking is part of your final exam. This year, it is different because we think it's important and we want everyone to do it. It will be just your last grade for the semester. So let me make sure I go over it with you now because this 50-point speaking quiz will be next week. So please give me your focus. If you're doing something else, I don't know what you're doing, get your focus here. This is your last 50-point grade for the semester. So let's make sure you know what you're doing because you need to start working on it now and over the weekend and on Monday, because you need to have this basically all planned out by the time I see you again on Tuesday. Otherwise, you're behind. So let me just give you the gist of it. If you were here first semester, speaking was sort of similar. So here's what you got. All right. So you have basically 10 questions that are fair game for your speaking. We did make that a little bit less. If you remember last semester, you had more questions that you had to practice. So we thought, you know what? Let's keep it short and simple. You have 10 questions. You need to know what they mean, and you need to know how to answer them in a complete sentence in Spanish. Right? I kind of separated them nicely for you and said, these are kind of your future tense questions. And then in the second set, you're kind of making some predictions about what would happen based on the following situation. And that, of course, would require the conditional tense. So I tried to make that super clear for you. So what I need you to do is after your quiz today / over the weekend / Monday, you need to go through and make sure you know what they mean and make sure you have a good answer for each one. All right. So we don't have a lot of time here. So Tuesday, when you come in, you can't come in with nothing. I mean, you can, but you're going to be really behind. All right. Because if you look up here, these are going to start being presented, not presented, but we'll start your quiz on Wednesday. So you need to make sure that you're in good shape really when you come in here on Tuesday. And then Tuesday we'll spend pretty much the whole period practicing. Also, I will go over like the written final stuff with you on Tuesday. I don't want to take the time to do that today. But that's going to be the focus on Tuesday. And then, like I said, my plan is to get through most of these on Wednesday. It is possible that if I don't get to you Wednesday, you would go Thursday, but you need to be prepared for Wednesday. All right. So it's really important that you do this. Otherwise, like I said, when you come in here on Tuesday, if you got nothing, it's going to be pretty hard to put all these together and practice them and memorize them and do well on them by the next day. So what I've said before and what's true is, you know, the ability for everybody to do well is there because all you have to do is prepare them, right? I will tell you over the years, I have AB students that get D's and F's because they don't prepare anything. And then I also have D and F students get A's because you take the time to prepare it. It's something like, here are the questions. There's no surprise questions, right? You've got them. So put together some good answers, practice them over the next 4 days. And then when I see you on Tuesday, we'll do, like I said, practice with each other. We'll practice. I'll help you go over them. We'll go over them together. And hopefully you should be set up for some success. Other less little tidbits you read through here. I'm not going to read this to you. Everything does need to be memorized, right? You don't get to use your notes here. You prepare your notes, you practice your notes, but when it comes time to talk to me, no notes. I do want to show you the rubric. So there's 25 points on here and I'll double that. That's how I'm going to get a 50-point grade out of this. So most important part is comprehensibility, right? Can you comprehend the question? And can I comprehend your answer, right? At the end of the day, that's what matters most. Then things like grammar and pronunciation factor in. Those help with comprehension, right? If your grammar or your pronunciation is terrible, it's hard to understand, right? So those do factor in, but the main thing is, can I understand your answer? Can you understand my question? Now, I always like to talk about risk taking for a minute because you need to think about this when you're putting your answers together. All right, let's talk about the sentence, my classic favorite, me gusta la pizza. Is that a sentence in Spanish? Yeah. Okay. That's not going to get you very many points though. All right. You have to understand that what am I looking for? I want to know that you know the future tense, right? I want to see you've learned something this semester. I want to see down here that you understand the conditional tense. I want to see that you've learned something this semester. All right. Then in terms of your vocabulary, pizza, is that a hard word? No. Tacos, not a hard word either. All right, I want to see that you have learned something. So give me some vocab words, all right? Or if it's not a vocab word, make it a word that's not pizza, right? Make it a word, look up a word that maybe is something that's a little more advanced than pizza. Or if you just really love pizza and it asks you for foods, I don't even know if any of these are food. I don't think they are. But, give me 2 good foods and then throw in pizza. Right? So it's not that you can't use pizza, but that's not going to get you very many points. All right. So you need to make sure that you are, this is third year Spanish. I want to see that you can do more than a present tense sentence with pizza. Okay. So again, think about that as you're preparing. Give me multiple answers. If it says, where are you going to live and why? Well, don't just tell me where you're going to live. Tell me why, right? Give me some good reasons here. A lot of them have the question, like a double question. Why? So make sure you give that some thought as you're putting these together. Question, Derek.
Yeah. So the question, like number 4, the second one,
Okay,
can be answered like just by restating the question.
right. So you can do that, or you can add to it a little bit. That's where that kind of risk taking comes into it a little bit, right? So yeah, would you have a big family or with some animals? So sure, you could say yes, right? You say yes, I have a big family, or you could say yes, I have a big family with a cat and a dog and a turtle, or I don't, maybe you say I don't want a big family. I don't, because, give me a reason for it. Like you just have to add a little something to it so that it's not just a me gusta la pizza kind of answer. Okay. Great question. Anything else you want me to clarify there? Yeah,
When you ask the questions, are you gonna tell us if it's the pizza section?
No. Okay. What I envision probably, because it'll just be random, like I'll probably have it on a note card or something and we'll just pick them randomly. Or I don't know, maybe I'll just pick a couple from the top and a couple from the bottom. So no, I mean, you have to understand the question, right? You have to listen to the question. That's part of the comprehension is, do you understand what I'm asking?
So are you asking us all of the questions?
No. So again, I didn't read all the details. It says you'll answer 4 or 5, right? So I might pick 2 from the top and 3 from the bottom, or 2 and 2, or, I'll just kind of gauge it. I might do 4 questions unless I'm like, oh, I don't know, I need to hear 1 more, right? So maybe kind of plan on 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom, but of course you need to prepare them all. And I feel like 10 is pretty reasonable. Like I said, last semester, I think we gave you 15 or 20 questions. That felt like a lot to prepare. 10, I think, is pretty reasonable. All right. Anything else I can clear up for you? Okay, so obviously that you can push to the side now. Let's go ahead and do this quiz. If you finish the quiz or when you finish the quiz, because it doesn't usually take the full time, then work on these, okay? There will be no further homework on Monday. It is just these, okay? And then, like I said, Tuesday, we're going to practice the heck out of them and hopefully be ready for Wednesday. Okay? All right, so if you have stuff out related to this, you can get rid of it. This is kind of open book, right? So you can use your book, you can pull it up online under class resources. So go ahead and get yourself organized. So you've got your things out. As always, it's time, right? So I think I gave you, I can't remember, it's like 45 minutes or 50 minutes. So obviously that is not enough time, I don't think, for you to reread the entire book and answer your questions. So, there are some quotes on there. Watch your time. Okay, I cannot give you extra time because the whole point is you need to be familiar enough with the material that you can get through it in the 45 minutes that I give you. All right. So your resources are there, but you're not going to be able to spend an hour searching for each quote because you will run out of time. All right. So at some point you got to keep yourself moving. So just keep an eye on that timer. Okay. That's probably really the only thing I need to suggest to you. All right. Are we ready? Yeah, Derek.
These 3 questions a lot.
Well, I mean, they're always like, there's probably, I don't know, 10 questions in each of the 3 questions. So yes and no. It's definitely not 3 questions. All right. So are we there? Are we ready? Code is examen.
I put that.
Did you?
It didn't work.
Oh, well. Does it work now? Maybe you spelled it wrong. Does it work now?
Yeah.
No, it still doesn't work.
EX. Oh yeah, I didn't capitalize it. Examen.
It's so dumb.
All right. So everybody's in okay, I assume? Yes. Anyone having trouble? Okay. So Zoom friends, I assume you're in. I will put the password in the chat. Just make sure you spelled it right, or for the person that just came in, examen is the password. All right. So like I said, you got 45 minutes. Keep an eye on that timer. Question 1, I believe, is all the quotes. So make sure you pick the person that you mean to pick. Question 2 is all about true and false. And then the last section is kind of multiple choice, whichever makes sense based on the sentence. So yeah, I think that's all I got for you. So I will say buena suerte. I will mute myself. Zoom friends, please stay on until you are done, as always. And then you do not have to check in with me once you have submitted it. Hasta luego, and go work on your speaking questions. Okay, so buena suerte. Good luck. Have a great weekend. And let me know if you have any questions on anything.